Hello and welcome to Coming Into Being. Here we are, like we are every Wednesday at this time, to just provide the space. Hey, Asta, jumping right in. Hello. Just provide the space for you to take the time to just put everything else aside except yourself. So, why we do it is because that's probably the most important thing we can do for ourselves is just have, I'm just, there we go. That's the most important thing we can do for ourselves is to really connect in with ourselves, to really be clear with who we are, where we are in this moment, in every moment, and then to move forward from that. So grab your, and Sydney on the other side. Hello, here with the same animals as last week. Cute. So, so grab yourself a cup of tea or a glass of water, and let's just dive right in. And it's something. So I'll start with this because something that just kind of came across recently is this peace around breathing and just helping to like calm down the vagus nerve. So if you just take your fingertips and place them lightly right below where your ribs start to separate out, so the very top, of your solar plexus area, right below in the center, and just place them gently there. And notice them and just kind of be present, be aware of that spot. And let's take a breath in. Doesn't have to be very deep, but maybe a little deeper than a normal breath. And just take a deep breath in. And then release it with a sound, with a light sound. So let's stay in this for just a little bit, just to help calm everything down. And just be aware of, as you breathe in, of the breath kind of pushing your fingers out. So you're not pressing in, you're just lightly touching your fingers to that area. And exhale through your mouth, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and just with a soft sound. Just allowing everything to kind of calm down and relax down. Yeah. So if you want, you can keep your fingers there and just kind of keep that awareness there to just, kind of build up that sense of that relaxation for yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't that feel good though? Even if it's not stressed, get kind of busy running around, and some of us are just kind of more dee in here. There's just some days where it's more for whatever reason. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. They're not necessarily bad, negative reasons. A lot of maybe just movement. I find that I tend to, as soon as I'm moving, it takes extra effort for me to not be in that mind. It's like there's this activation, and as soon as there's movement, there's this activation of the mind. So, that's one of the, it's like you can do a sitting meditation, but then if you want to take it a little bit more further, is doing a walking meditation, for example. So where you're walking and you're just focused on being present with your movement, keeping your mind quiet and still. So taking a deep breath in, holding it at the top, and then just releasing it out. Yeah. settling into whatever you're sitting on. And I did put a post on Instagram. It's an extreme for Instagram, and it's an extremely long post. I should probably put that on YouTube also. But if you take the time to listen, just kind of in that place of really being in a deep state, just explaining what it's like to be in stillness and how to get to that place where it's that calm centeredness. There's a little bit of just an experiential at the end, but so check that out. It's my latest post. What did I call it? I called it something like do you have the strength or something like that. So just explaining in detail just what it's like to be in that state of just holding still, being in that stillness, that silence, and meditation, because they're all kind of that deeper place. A lot comes up. So it's not about just pushing all that stuff aside, but it's about holding yourself strongly. Okay, so focusing on what you're sitting on. Yeah, so I can just feel that there's a little bit of questions like, really, how do so just that question of how do I do that, because that's the timeless question around meditations, like, how do I do that? Because we're so used to being in this piece of figuring out life, figuring out what we're doing, especially the more we're on computers, the more we're on devices and stuff, but it was always like that. Maybe more prone to it now because the devices and stuff really pull us up into here. So noticing what you're sitting on. Letting your awareness just drop down through your body. Let's move through the body. So just being aware of your head. This big ball, and then let's put it on that stick of the neck. Not that the necks are skinny, whatever size your neck is, if you want, just kind of put your hands on your neck just to like, okay, here's my neck. This is really good to do if you have a hard time differentiating between you and the external. Yeah. Becoming aware of the top of the shoulders. Any stress, you kind of tension you notice along the way, just as like, okay, we can relax now. And maybe take a deep breath in while you're focusing on the area of tension, and then exhale out, just like put it in your mind that you're exhaling that tension out, melting that away. Yeah. And even if there's like a little bit of emotional stuff, there's a little bit of emotional, mental stuff coming up here. Just notice that, be aware of that. Then take a breath in. When you notice something like that, take a breath in and then just, okay, let's release it out. Exhale it out. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. It's like everybody's kind of under this cascade of energy or light or whatever. Just your arms, we're going to go through this a little bit better because of what just started happening. So your arms, then your torso, what you're sitting on, your legs, lower legs, feet on the floor. Okay. So we're going to work with this piece that just started coming in here. Be aware of your body. And have this sense, just kind of visualize that you're, wherever you're sitting, there's like this cascade of energy just flowing from the sky, from God, from the heavens, from the ethers, from wherever you want to see it coming from, and just coming and flowing through you. And yeah, notice if it's flowing around you or flowing through you. And either way is fine, just notice. Yeah, let's open up, open that top of that head just to allow that in. Ooh. And clearing out a lot of riffraff energy that we don't need to have. Yeah, from actually not just the top, but it's clearing out a nice layer of some general distortions from I got picked up along the way here. Huh. Yeah. There we go. And allowing that just to flow through. It's just flowing right through you, cascading through, making its way down all the way through your body. And Sydney, you need to just focus on opening the top of your head because it's not going in. It's just bouncing off the top of your head. You're just resisting letting that come through you. It's a little bit of a control issue. And it's not helping you. Ugh. So just keep focusing on letting that in and just relaxing into letting that in a little bit with each breath, just with each breath. Asta, you're doing pretty well over there. And so for everybody, just allowing, just with every breath, just your inhale, you just like feel like you're just sucking it in, pulling it into your body, and exhaling. And on the exhale, just seeing it kind of flushing through you. Yeah. There we go. That's getting better. It's only getting better for both of you. So just keep working on that. And let's see, anybody else? Yeah, just generally. Yeah, there's still some people have it like just bouncing. It's like water drops that are just bouncing off the top of the head. Boom. Instead of pulling through. So again, just with every in-breath, and some of that is fear. So notice if you got fear coming up, and it can show as just like, oh, I don't want this coming in. What's the stuff? Where's it coming from? All these questions. So right here, right now in this space, the space is created for you to be able to do that without worrying about that on your own. Maybe, yeah, I can understand that. If we're not as in control of our space and of ourselves, then it's a good thing to question, to kind of like, well, I don't know, where's this coming from? Is this safe for me? Is this okay? That's fine. That's not a bad thing. There we go. Yeah, that's starting to open up for people, more people. Yeah. So just taking a deep breath in, like you're sucking on a straw through your head, pulling it in, and then exhaling it, like getting it moving through you faster. So what that is doing is that's just giving a nice cleaning out for people, like an internal cleansing shower cascade. Yeah. As soon as I say something, Sydney, you just snapped out of it. It's like there's a real control thing that's coming up here. There's just a part of you that's really resisting being given directives from the outside. You want to be the one who figures it out for yourself before anybody else tells you, and just kind of, and that's fine, but notice when that comes up, when it's an issue. So nothing is bad or good, but we got to learn to discern when something is good for us and when it's not good for us. When it's keeping us from being where we need to be, when or where we're doing what we can do for ourselves. Just keep focusing on bringing with the breath, just bringing in that energy, more energy. There we go. I snap back into it. It's so a few days ago, you should have been like looking at that and saying, okay, let's shift that. A few days is a long time to be going through something. When you've got awareness of that, if you've got awareness of something that's coming up, everybody here, sometimes we don't have the time in it's like you're going off somewhere or something's coming up, and it's like you notice something, make a note of it and just say, okay, let's get back to this. But if you keep noticing that something is coming up and you're not doing anything about it, then it's like you got to ask yourself why you're even doing that piece of sitting in something for so long and not doing anything about it. Like, what are you waiting for? So there's two layers there to work with. Then we come back to it, make a mental note, make it or write it down on a piece of paper saying, I want to clear this up. Boom, put it on your nightstand. It's like, and it will come back up. It's like, then you'll start getting that hint. Okay, so first you're saying, been noticing this for a few days, and now you say, I first noticed it yesterday. So look at that. You're fudging around there. I'm going to kind of hold you to that because it's that, well, no, that's, so it's a little bit of wiggling around. Did somatic work in the afternoon, which really helped, but didn't feel complete. There you go. Keep working at it with something. So, but either it's a few days or it's just yesterday. So you're fudging around there with what you're saying about yourself. You want to make yourself look good, look better than where you're at. Watch that, because it's not helping you. It might make you look better, feel better. Hey, Joni. But it's not helping you. If you're not clear about where you are, if you cannot be clear about where you are and who you're showing yourself to be, we all need to get to that place little by little. This is a really good point. So thanks for pointing that out here for the group. It's about what we show to the exterior. And when we are not strong within ourselves, when we're strong enough, we're going to be putting something else out to the external world because we want to look, usually we want to look better, whatever that better definition is, because sometimes it's like be a badass nasty, so that looks, seems better than being like, ooh, scared, and people will do that. So we put something out, and when we get called on, it's like, well, no, that's not what I said. So that just shows that there's still this discomfort about being seen. That's okay. Just notice that for yourself. Be honest with yourself. Even if you're not honest with the external, I don't care if people lie to me, that's fine. I can tell when they're just kind of, and sometimes we need that because we're just in that place of just not feeling steady in ourselves. Be honest with yourself, because that's the only way we can move forward, if we know exactly where we are in the moment. So deep breath in. And we all go through this. We all go through this as we're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger in ourselves. There's always there's these little pieces like, okay, need to adjust that, need to adjust that, need to adjust that. And to need to make sure that we are seen for being great. Again, look at what you've written, Sydney, and look at it in terms of, I need to make sure that I'm seen in a good light. Let yourself be seen in being a total fuck up. Exaggerating there, but just to make the point. So again, it's hard. It's really hard, but when you get, it's an indication of how strong you are within yourself. When you can get to that place of saying, oh yeah, I messed up here. Oh, well, that was, yikes, sorry about that. And step away and say, okay, I can do better next time. That's an indication of where you're getting stronger for yourself. Okay, so deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Release it down. Yeah. So let's focus on that, just pulling that cascade of energy through our systems. Just bring up that deeper stuff, whatever needs to be cleared in that moment. In breath, you're just pulling it into you. Out breath, you're just pushing it all the way through your body. Yeah, there we go. And any emotions that are coming up, just notice. Feeling like crying, just for come up. Yeah, and who are you trying to forgive? Yeah, there we go. Settling in. Taking another deep breath in, holding it at the top. Release it out. Dropping down, dropping your awareness down. Let's go all the way down to the core of the earth. Notice if you're resisting going into the earth or not, or if you're able to just drop, let yourself surrender and drop down. Connect in. Let's connect into the new earth grid. And sometimes it's okay to have that resistance, because maybe there's something that doesn't feel really good about, there might be some layer that you're aware of that's doesn't feel good because it feels like you're going to drop down, you're going to connect in. What happens, so with that, I mean, it's something to be aware of, because it's like, well, I'm hesitating. Notice that in the middle, I'm hesitating on connecting into the earth. Why is that? Ask yourself, why is that? It could be for a very good reason. It could be you, that you just have a hard time coming in and really embodying, coming into physical form, which means you're going to have a harder time grounding, connecting into the earth. There's going to be resistance there. There's just some people that are just in that place. Some of us came in that way at birth because of certain types of trauma. It could also be, another possibility, is that somebody is grounding through you. So maybe you've got a better anchoring into the earth than they do. So they hook into you. You've let them hook into you. So that could be the reason you're going. It's like, imagine yourself, you're standing on, let's say, a glass pane, and what you see is just like all layers going down to the core of the earth, and you're looking down and you see, it's like, oh, there's somebody. It's like, I don't want to go through that person. If I go down, then I'm going to be connecting with that person. So yeah, that's what happens. Or maybe there's a layer, an energetic layer, and you're like, it's not clean. So just aim for the earth. Just kind of take your mind away from that. Aim for it. Just also, you can just say, let's connect into the new earth grid. There you go. And just hold that in your awareness, and then it happens, okay? So it's about kind of putting that other piece, if you notice it, it's like, let's clear that out of the way, and let's connect into only the new earth grid. Boom. Now it's happening for everybody, except for Sydney. So let's take another deep breath in. Everybody else is pretty good. Everybody else is just about there, so that's good. Deep breath in, Sydney. Hold it at the top. Get everything else out of your mind. And then just say, let's connect into the new earth grid now. You've got some stuff that's really holding you in place. So we'll take a look at that in a minute, but just kind of keep just in your awareness, just focus on your breath and focus on just being in the new earth grid. Again, so I'm not gonna tell you what this is about. You take a look at yourself right now. It's like, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? That's another good question for everybody. Just when you notice something is happening and you're not clear as to what, just ask the question, put it out to the ethers. How and why is this happening to me? The answer most likely won't come up right away, because your mind is trying so much to find the answer that it won't. Let it through. Just put out the question, why and how is this happening to me? It will pop in when when this part of you is not paying attention, and this part of you is not trying to figure out and control it. And notice what comes up. Is it, it could be something, but it's like you've got to be a sleuth for yourself. You got to follow the clues, so maybe shame comes up. It's like, well, where is that coming from? Don't just say it's like, oh, I feel shame. Well, it's like, where's that coming from? Da-da-da. Oh, remember that. All of a sudden, an event pops in your mind. You remember it. You follow the trail till you really get to that core nugget, and you can feel it. Either that, or it might all of a sudden your mind just kind of stops. Like for me, it's like when I will write stuff out because just I'm very visually oriented, and it helps to kind of it like creates that focus. It intensifies that focus on what I'm dealing with, what I'm going, with the ethers, with the spirit, with the whatever, your higher self, my higher self, just like however you want to look at that. Just as I write it out, it's sort of like, got the whole team here going here. So it's like, right. And then all of a sudden it just, boom, there's this, it's like you hit a wall. That's it. Boom. So you gotta, it takes a little bit of practice, but when you start doing that for yourself, it's just like, okay, where is this coming from? And following it. And then you start to know what the cues are. Okay. So nice deep breath in. Okay, let's drop everybody down to the core of the earth. Yeah. Regardless of where you are, stuck or not stuck or anything else, let's come into the core of the earth. Yeah, very nice. Okay, we're just gonna let ourselves let's be held in this place. Just relax in, focusing on your breath. With each exhale, just soft breath, soft sound, releasing it out through your mouth. And I'm going to say it, but if you find it, when I'm not saying it, go ahead and do it. When you just feel like you need to take a deep breath, take a deep breath, hold it for, just a couple counts, and then just release it all out and come back into the regular breath. Deeper stillness. With each breath, just align yourself to just let go a little bit more. Relax in, come into yourself just a little bit more. Connect in. Just a little bit more, just with each breath. Yeah. Letting everything just relax down, relax out. Even if that means that you're feeling more stuff that you don't want to feel. Sometimes we have to go through those places because that's just there. It just needs to be seen. It just needs to be heard, seen. You know, you just need to be present with that piece because you've been staying on top of that. And to fully come into yourself, you have to go through that. You can't just go around it. Going around it is pretending. You got to go through it. However long it takes. Sometimes those pieces can take a long time. Sometimes just the moment it feels like it's going to be, oh God, this is going to be huge. But we take a deep breath in and then we move right through it. A lot of that has to do with the human self getting out of the way. Just saying, okay, I don't like doing this. I don't like going through this. I know I don't want to feel this. Whatever. But all right. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. That's really the piece that keeps us from moving faster than we can. And having said that, there's also recognizing your own rhythm for going through something and just your own rhythm for moving through life, not even just the going through something to clear it up, just your rhythm for moving through life. Everybody's got their own rhythm. If you can recognize that for yourself, then you'll see, okay, yeah, no, it just takes me a while. It takes me a while to go to whatever, even learning something, taking it in. Some people, it's like boom, 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 bing, that's it. For me, it's like I'm methodical in my studying, my learning, and I really go through the whole thing. You can get a sense of that from your astrology chart, and I'm speaking specifically to Vedic astrology. I'm not familiar at all with Western astrology. So from my experience with Vedic astrology, you can get a sense of that. It shows up so obviously in my birth chart. And there's just no way around it, So you look at late bloomers, for example, the people are categorized as late bloomers, is that they're just going through life at a very different rate than those people who hit their peak in high school, for example, or after college, or had a big boom in their career and then went down. So it's a very different pattern. One is not better than the other. There's different challenges with each one of them. I can't imagine what it would have been like to have the height of your life be in high school. You got a long way to go after that. Just like it's like the lesson learning, if we want to look at it, learning lessons, it's sort of the reverse of like a late bloomer. It's like the late bloomer, it's like you're going through all those lessons first. And the one who peaks in high school, it's like then you're going through you've got this big boom explosion, and then it's like you got to go through all the lessons. So just a different way to go through life, But it's helpful to know that about yourself, so that you know what your pace is, so that you don't get frustrated relative to what everybody else is doing. And you can just, when you really learn that and know that about yourself and about anything, you can say, well, that's not how I move. I move like this. So, another thing about me, it's like I move backwards from, or I not move backwards is not the right. I do the reverse. What I need to do for myself is the reverse of what's being told. Being guided, it's like, okay, for example, remember with Rosalind Briere, deep breath in. Let's take a nice deep breath into that. Hold that. Release it out. Yeah, come back to what you're sitting on. There you go. Come into your breath a little bit. I'll finish up what I was saying. So as using myself as an example here, in a workshop with Rosalind Briere a while back, she was saying, well, to sleep, just you got to move up your chakras and open them up. I have to do the reverse. It's like I've got to go down the chakras instead of going up the chakras. Because when I went up the chakras, it's like I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep at night. So knowing those things about yourself is don't try to change those things that are inherent in how your system works. Know that so that you can be aware of how you need to do something, how you need to move through life, what you need to be paying attention to, so that external people, Tiki, hello Tiki, coming in towards the end. So we start at 7 p.m., but glad you could make it. So when you can see what other people are telling you to do, and then you can adjust what they're saying to how it works for you. Okay. All right. So deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Hold it. Hold it. So you can hold it for longer. And then exhale it all out. Everything out. Just squeeze the air out of your breath, out of your lungs until there's nothing, no breath left, and your body just breathes back in. And then settling down. Settling into what you're sitting on. Dropping into the core of the earth. Let's take a moment down here. Just connecting in. Yeah. Nice deep space here. Wherever you are at in this moment, deep breath in. Just be aware of that. Don't try to change it. Don't try to make it something else. Just where you're at right now. It's not forever. It's just this moment. You can tell yourself if it's something you're not enjoying, you can say, just for right now. It's just this moment. It will change in the next moment. Whenever that next moment comes, it will be different. There we go. So you can relax into just being here now. Being here now does not mean you feel fantastic and great and expansive and da-da-da-da-da. Being here now also means feeling like shit because you're just in that place. But when we can surrender to now, then things start to shift and open up. It's like whatever part of you has been feeling like XYZ, God knows how long that's been like knocking at the door, sitting here. I'm over here. You got to pay attention to this. And we haven't done it. You know, it could be a day, it could have been 5 years, 20 years, 20 lifetimes. Hey, just noticing what you're sitting on. Coming aware of your breath. Just with your awareness on the breath for a moment as we kind of bring this to a close. There we go. Yeah, very nice. Coming into nice, brighter, bright space. Yeah, good. There we go. Okay. Good job, everybody. Good work. So a few tidbits you might want to go back and listen to this again, because there's a lot of little tidbits that came up around the breath, around just all different things that can come up. And so you might want to check that out also. So every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Paris time, or Central European time, that's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, but United States, we're off to, oh gosh, I'm just remembering that. We're off 2 hours here. We're off an extra hour because the US, I think, just changed time, and we don't change time until the 30th. Boom. They should just do away with that. So 7 p.m. Paris time for now. And yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining in. You're good. Always good to see you guys. And Tiki, thanks for joining in. First time. It's nice. Joni, Sydney, and anybody else who's out there watching from behind the scenes. Good to see you. Good to have you stop by. So, yeah, I think it's next 2 weeks. We're going to be 7 p.m. Paris time. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you for having me. Yes, always. So take care, everybody. And let me just flash on my QR code. Just value. I call it value donation. And if you're on Instagram, if you go to the link in the bio, you'll see a link. So just a value code if you feel like tossing in a few coins in my direction, or just as a thank you, and also for appreciation for yourself, recognizing that you are taking the time for yourself. This is what this space is for that connection to ourselves, and really giving ourselves that space to really move through, connect in more deeply, and clear out what needs to be cleared out so that we can be in that deeper state of purity for ourselves. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you next time you show up in the ethers, on here, or wherever